Yo, 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 yo. I can't let it fade. Star will know. Yo, yo. Gather round and hear this true story. A tale of loss, of pain and glory. A life once full of hope and light, shattered by darkness, lost in the night. It starts with a simple sleepover, trust placed in a friend, a young girl's cover. But one moment, one choice, one mistake set her world on a tragic break. From innocence to shadows deep, a secret kept, a promise to keep. Drugs and betrayal, abuse and fear, a life unraveling year by year. Her story's a warning, a cry for awareness of vulnerable hearts and the danger's fairness. Protect our children, watch them close, for one small slip can turn to a ghost.
Hold on to hope, don't let it fade. Stand up strong, be unafraid. In every heart, let love ignite to guide them through the darkest night. Hold on to hope, don't let it fade. Stand up strong, be unafraid. In every heart, let love ignite to guide them through the darkest night.
Yeah, she was just a girl, barely 17, caught in a nightmare she'd never seen. Invited to a sleepover's warmth, but darkness crept beneath the calm. Norman's lies, his hunger for control turned her once bright future cold. One sip, one hit, one whispered lie, a spark that led her to
Let's raise our voices, break the silence, stand together in defiance. For every child who's lost their way, we'll fight for brighter days. Remember her story, hold it tight. Be a beacon in the night. Love and hope will always stay, guiding us to a safer way.
This is a true story, one that reflects the harsh reality of how quickly young life can change. It is not just about one person's struggle, but about vulnerability, influence, addiction, and the lasting consequences of a few critical moments. I came to know this story during a time in my life when I owned a small repair shop in Flint, Michigan. Through that experience, I met many people from different walks of life. Among them was a young woman named Anna, whose story stayed with me long after I left that place. What follows is her journey, a painful but important account that serves as a lesson for parents, young people, and anyone who believes that it could never happen to me. Anna, a 17-year-old high school senior, was invited by her friend Emma to a sleepover. Emma has a 20-year-old brother named Norman. While Emma and her mother went to a party store to buy snacks, Anna stayed behind with Norman. As they waited for Emma to return, Anna and Norman began talking about drinking beer and using drugs, including cocaine. Norman admitted that he sometimes uses and sells drugs, and he encouraged Anna to try them. Anna eventually gave in and tried a small amount. Shortly after, Anna told Norman that her body felt hot and that she felt very different. About 30 minutes later, Emma and her mother returned from their quick shopping trip. During the night, Emma asked Anna if she was okay. Anna's face was flushed and her eyes were red. Anna explained that she was allergic to cats, and since Emma had a pet cat, she understood the reaction. A week later, Anna stayed at Emma's house for a second sleepover during the night, and Norman spoke privately and arranged to meet the following afternoon as planned. Norman picked Anna up shortly after she returned home from school the next day. Because Anna's parents worked until late in the evening, she was able to go out for a few hours for their date. While they were in the car, Norman asked Anna if she wanted to try the drugs again. At first, Anna hesitated, but eventually she agreed. Norman then drove to an old vacant building where he gave Anna more drugs. While she was under the influence, he sexually assaulted her. Afterward, Norman drove Anna back to her house. She went to sleep shortly after. And a few hours later, her parents returned home. Anna told her mother that she was not feeling well and needed to rest in her bedroom. She added that she might not be able to go to school the next day if she still felt sick. And she asked her mother to call the school to report her absence. The following day, Anna contacted Norman and told him she still did not feel well and wanted more drugs. Norman came to her house, gave her more drugs, and again sexually assaulted her while her parents were away. Before leaving, he gave Anna an additional supply of the drugs in case she wanted more, and then left as if nothing had happened. Norman and Anna continued meeting in secret until Anna graduated from high school, which was 2 months after the first sleepover and her first use of cocaine and crack. Eventually, they made their relationship public and became officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Soon after, Anna moved in with Norman in a small apartment. During their first month living together, Norman told Anna that he could no longer afford to provide her with drugs because he was falling behind on rent. Especially since he also used them, he told Anna that she needed to get a job. Anna tried to find work, but each time she applied to a company or a fast food restaurant, she failed the required drug test. Eventually, Norman suggested that she could make money working at a strip club where drug tests were not required. Anna got a job at a nearby club called Cloud9, close enough for her to walk to from their apartment. Her income was based solely on tips, and she also had to pay a fee each night she worked. After a month, her earnings were not enough to cover her drug use, Norman's drug use, rent, and other expenses. One day, Norman told her that she could make much more money by going out with men before or after her shifts. He reassured her that it would be acceptable to him because he loved her. One day, while Anna was walking to work, a car pulled up beside her. The man inside said, "I love watching you dance at the nightclub. I try to see you every Friday night." He then asked if she would like a ride to the club. Anna agreed. While they were in the car, he asked her if she would go with him to a motel. "I'll give you $100 bill for 1 hour," he said, "and I'll drive you back to the nightclub afterward." At first, Anna hesitated and told him, "I have a boyfriend, but he doesn't mind if I go out with other men." Eventually, she agreed.
The man turned out to be a drug user as well, and he became her first customer. At the motel, he opened a bag containing crack cocaine and powdered cocaine. He then said, "Would you like to stay with me until Saturday night? We can get high and I'll give you $300 for your time." Anna replied, "Yes, I would." On Saturday night, the man dropped her off at her apartment and left. When she went inside, she found her boyfriend asleep. She woke him and asked, "Were you worried about me?" He replied, "No, your date is one of my customers. I sold him the drugs you used. I also told him to pick you up on your way to work. From now on, more men will approach you the same way for weekends or even longer if they can afford it." Anna was shocked, but not entirely surprised. From that point on, she began walking up and down Dort Highway in Flint, Michigan, looking for clients. The more money she made, the more drugs she and her boyfriend used on a good day. She could earn between $500 and $1,000, but it was still not enough to cover even a cheap motel room in their addiction, as much of the money was spent on drugs. Eventually, they moved into an old, full-size passenger van. With a mattress in the back, Anna would pick up clients and use the van to meet them and sexually serve them. While her boyfriend drove, they believed that by constantly moving, they could avoid being arrested for prostitution. They lived this way until Anna became pregnant about 4 months into the pregnancy. Her boyfriend denied that he was the father. Their relationship eventually ended.
and Anna moved in with other women prostitutes living in a motel. She continued using drugs and drinking alcohol during her pregnancy and refused to seek help. Anna later gave birth prematurely. The newborn boy had alcohol and controlled substances in his system, and the hospital reported the case to the Department of Health and Human Services. Authorities urged Anna to enter a rehabilitation program, warning that her baby could be taken into protective custody if she refused. Anna entered a rehab center but left after the first week and returned to the streets. Meanwhile, her child remained in the hospital for 4 months receiving treatment. Eventually, Anna's sister became the child's foster parent and later gained full custody. Eventually, Anna was arrested for drug use and prostitution. Authorities informed her that there was also a bench warrant for her arrest because she had failed to appear in court for a hearing related to her child. As a result, she was additionally charged with child abuse. When Anna appeared before the judge, her sister was present in the courtroom. It was then that Anna realized her baby was in her sister's care. The court ordered that Anna be jailed and issued a restraining order stating that upon her release, she must stay at least 500 feet away from her sister's home and the child's location unless she returned to rehabilitation and demonstrated that she was fit to parent. After serving her time, Anna entered a rehabilitation program, but she left in less than a week and returned to the streets. A few days after leaving rehab, she learned that her ex-boyfriend had died by suicide. She was arrested several times a year for prostitution and related offense, often undergoing medical evaluations as part of the process. As time passed and her young son grew old enough to play outside in the front yard of her sister's house, she would sometimes ask someone to drive her nearby. She would hide behind a tree or sit across the street watching from a distance once a week, tears in her eyes. During the winter, she occasionally waited to catch a glimpse of him as he got on or off the school bus. 15 years went by, and she never had the chance to hug her son. Still, she would whisper to herself, "I love you. I hope that one day I can hold you." Now 26 years have passed. I lost contact with her 19 years ago. Wherever she is, whether in heaven, in prison, or reunited with her family, I am certain of one thing. She loved her child, but addiction was stronger than her will. As for the child's father, only God knows. The reason I am sharing this story is that it comes from a period in my life when I owned a small repair shop in Flint, Michigan. Through that experience, I interacted with many different people. Anna's family lived not far from my shop, and she would stop by occasionally to rest from the harsh weather, whether the heat of summer or the cold of winter, and sometimes just to get water. Over time, she shared many parts of her life with me. The story of how she became involved with drugs and prostitution was especially painful and deeply concerning. It is a powerful lesson for any parent. Her experience was not unique. It was similar to the stories of many young women who walked along Saginaw Street or Dart Highway. My shop was located on Saginaw Street in Flint, an area that, at the time, had numerous strip clubs and drug activity. It was a very dangerous environment. I no longer know what the area is like today, as I have chosen to keep my distance from Flint. Eventually, I closed my shop after a robbery in which I was nearly killed. Business was also declining, and since I already had a full-time job as an engineer, I decided it was no longer worth keeping the shop open. As a parent, I would advise others to be attentive to their children and cautious about where they spend their time. In Anna's case, her father passed away unexpectedly after she moved out, and her mother died of cancer 2 years later. A moment of vulnerability combined with the wrong influence and unchecked addiction can reshape an entire life and affect generations. Anna's story began with what seemed like an ordinary, harmless situation, a sleepover with a friend in a brief moment of curiosity and pressure. She was exposed to drugs by someone older who took advantage of her trust. That single decision, trying drugs for the first time, became the turning point of her life. It opened the door not only to addiction, but also to manipulation, abuse, and exploitation. From that moment on, her path steadily changed. What started as experimentation became dependence. What began as influence turned into control. The person who introduced her to drugs also exploited her vulnerability, drawing her deeper into a cycle of abuse and survival. Over time, her choices became more limited, her environment more dangerous, and her ability to break free more difficult. Addiction did not just affect Anna, it shaped every part of her life. It affected her relationships, her safety, her future, and ultimately her ability to care for her own child. The consequence extended beyond her, impacting her son, who was born prematurely and exposed to drugs and alcohol before birth. As her child grows, he may face both physical and psychological challenges linked to that early exposure. Children born with substances in their system can experience developmental delays, difficulty concentrating, learning disabilities, and problems with memory and impulse control. For example, he may struggle in school, find it harder to focus compared to other children, or have difficulty managing emotions such as anger or anxiety. Emotionally, growing up separated from his biological mother may also affect his sense of identity and attachment. Even in a stable home, he may one day struggle with questions like, why wasn't I raised by my mother? Or experience feelings of abandonment, confusion, or loss. These internal struggles can increase the risk of depression, anxiety, or behavioral challenges during adolescence. There is also a heightened vulnerability to substance use. Research and real-life patterns show that children exposed to drugs before birth or raised in environments connected to addiction may be more likely to experiment with substances themselves. This can happen for several reasons: biological sensitivity to addictive substances, curiosity about their origins, emotional pain, or learned behavior from their early environment. For instance, as a teenager, he might be more likely to take risks, seek escape through substances, or struggle with peer pressure if he lacks strong coping mechanisms. Anna's story shows that these turning points are often small at first. One conversation, one decision, one moment of pressure. But when those moments are combined with the wrong influence and left unchecked, they can grow into something far more powerful. The effects can last not just for years, but for generations. In the end, Anna's life is a reminder that early vulnerability needs protection, that influence matters, and that addiction is not just a personal struggle. It is a force that can ripple outward, shaping families, futures, and lives far beyond the moment where it began.
Yeah, well, still is boss. Roll like doing that, did it? Crack cocaine. My name crack cocaine. I whispers tales of despair, a silent force that strips away care. It tears through homes, shatters peace, steals innocence, never ceases. More costly than treasures bright, a false allure in day and night. My sorrow darkens every sight, a haunting presence out of sight.
You'll find me lurking all around, in every corner, in every town, among the privileged, in the streets, in hidden places where danger meets. Born in shadow, shaped in secret layers, a peril hiding in nowheres, in quiet closets, in wooded shade. A threat that's crafted, sharp and made. It feels a voice within your mind. Know this danger's hard to leave behind. Many names for what I am, but most call me by my deadly name.
Crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine.
Crack
cocaine.
Crack cocaine.
Yo, my strength is vast, you'll soon see. Once touched, it binds inexplicably. A single taste might set you free, but twice and now you own your destiny. I make you lie, I make you steal, chasing highs that never heal. Your morals fade, your pride is lost. At what a heavy cost you've crossed. I snatch away your hopes and ties, turn loved ones into goodbyes. From faith to friendship I divide,
and leave you broken, torn inside. I drain your beauty, crush your pride, forever constant by your side. You'll forsake your world, your place, and end up in an empty space. I take what's dear, I leave you bare, until there's nothing left to spare. And when I'm done, you'll barely cope, lost in shadows, robbed of hope. Beware the risks, this isn't play, for once you follow, you may stray. I'll seize your body, claim your mind, and own your soul, cruel and blind.
The nightmares come when darkness falls. Voices echo through cold halls. The trembling visions relentless ache. All gifts I give, your worst mistake. Too late to turn, you'll understand. I'm forever part of your plan. Regret will sting, the pain is true, but you chose this, I never do.
You could have walked away that day, but dared to challenge what I say. Now I am your master, your shadow's chain. Even in death I remain. So now the choice is yours to make, to face or flee from this dark stake. I promise misery beyond compare. Take my hand, descend with me if you dare.
Okay,
Rap cocaine,
back okay,
black culture,
back okay.
black cocaine.
Once I stood at the edge of shadows deep, lost in the silence where nightmares creep. But darkness threatened to swallow my soul, a weight so heavy it took control. It whispered lies of endless despair, a void so cold it stripped me bare. But in that silence a whisper grew, a fragile voice that softly knew. Within the darkness a spark still glows, a seed of hope that quietly grows. I felt the chains of fear tighten their grip. The world around me seemed to slip, yet in my heart a flicker remained, a quiet strength that refused to be chained. Step by step I found my way through storms of doubt into the day. The road was rugged, the night was long, but every stumble made me strong. For every tear that felt like rain was watering seeds of hope again. And as I rose from shadows' rain, I saw the dawn, I felt the pain, but also knew that pain would pass, that light would come and shadows would crash. Life's greatest gift is not in ease, but in the courage to believe and seize the power within, so fierce, so bright, to turn the darkness into light. No storm, no night can last forever. When hope's the song we choose to remember. Remember this, the struggle molds your soul, it tests your strength, makes you whole. The darkness may try to pull you under, but within you lies a beating thunder, a force so vast, so deep, so true, waiting for your courage to break through. In every fall there's a lesson learned, a chance to grow, a spirit burn, to rise again with greater might, to chase the shadows into the night. For even in our deepest despair, there's a whisper saying you're still there. And in that whisper, hope resides, a promise that never truly dies.
So hold on tight and trust the dawn, for every night will give way to morn. Your path may twist, your fears may call, but love and hope will conquer all. The greatest victory is not in never falling, but in rising each time with courage calling.
Remember, life's a precious gift, a chance to heal, to mend, to lift. No matter how dark the road may seem, there's a light within your shining dream. Let hope be your eternal guide, and walk the path with love inside. For in your heart you hold the key to turn the darkness into victory. And when you believe, truly believe you'll find the strength to always achieve. Yeah. It started with a sleepover, innocent and bright, a chance for laughter in the quiet of the night. But shadows crept in where trust was supposed to be. A single choice, a fragile step, a lost certainty.
One moment of weakness, one whisper of wrong, a door left open and the journey's long. Vulnerable and searching, caught in the storm, a life forever changed in the cold dark dawn.
Ripple of a moment, echoes in a soul, a story of heartbreak, a tale untold. From innocence to shadows, through hurt and pain, a love lost in the pouring rain. Ripple of a moment,
Forever it remains,
a reminder, a warning.
nothing is the same.
Nothing is the same.
Nothing is the same. Nothing is the same.
From whispered lies to streets that coldly call, a young girl's fragile hopes begin to fall. Dreams turn to dust, caught in the fight, trying to find a way through the endless night.
Choices made in shadows, chains unseen. The mother's love, a broken dream. Holding on to hope, though battered and bruised. The life she couldn't choose, a path she'd lose.
Ripple of a moment, echoes in her soul, a story of heartbreak, a tale untold. From innocence to shadows, through hurt and pain, a love lost in the pouring rain. Ripple of a moment,
Forever it remains,
a reminder, a warning.
nothing is the same.
Nothing is the same.
Nothing is the same. Nothing is the same.
In the silence, she's still calling out for a love she can't live without. A child's hope, a mother's plea, lost in the storm of what used to be.
Falling deeper into shadows she fell, living stories she couldn't tell. A life of secrets and broken dreams, caught in a nightmare bursting at the seams.
Every choice, a heavy chain, a life of sorrow, a world of pain. But in her heart, a flicker remains, a faint hope that someday she'll change the game. Ripple of a moment, echoes in her soul, a story of heartbreak, a tale untold. From innocence to shadows, through hurt and pain, a love lost in the pouring rain. Ripple of a moment,
Ever it remains,
a reminder, a warning.
nothing is the same.
Nothing is the same.
Nothing is the same. Nothing is the same.
Yet in the darkness a light can gleam, a whisper of hope, a distant dream, a chance to heal, to break free, to find the love she longs to see.
Ripple of a moment, let it be a sign to cherish, to protect what's truly mine. For even in shadows, love can still shine, and hope will rise with the dawn's first light.
Ripple of a moment, whisper in the wind, a story of loss, but also a beginning again. From broken wings, we learn to fly, hold on to love and never say goodbye. A ripple of a moment, a chance to believe that someday love can set us free. Walking through these lonely streets, every face I meet feels incomplete. Days blend into endless nights, chasing dreams that fade from sight.
Wishing I had someone to call my own, lost and searching, feeling alone.
Last night I reached across the bed, found only memories in my head.
Everyone around, but I feel the ache, a hollow space I just can't fake. Waiting for a sign or a spark to light my way out of the dark.
I hide your picture deep inside, where my heart and tears can't hide. I can't face the truth when I'm with someone new. My past and my future collide with you.
I wanna hide your picture in this broken frame, calling out your name in silent pain.
and someday you'll be mine. Since you left, life's been a maze, lost in a lonely haze. I hide your picture deep inside, where my heart and tears can't hide. I can't face the truth when I'm with someone new. My past and my future collide with you.
I hide your picture in this broken frame, calling out your name in silent pain. Can't look at you when I'm lying here, lost in memories, drowning in fear. I saw you yesterday with someone else, felt the ache, the pain itself. But I still hold on to what we had, the love that made me feel so glad.
I wonder if you think of me too, or if it's just a dream we knew. I'd give anything to turn back time, to hold you close and call you mine. I hide your picture deep inside, where my heart and tears can't hide. I can't face the truth when I'm with someone new. My past and my future collide with you.
I hide your picture in this broken frame, calling out your name in silent pain. Can't look at you when I'm lying here, lost in memories, drowning in fear.
I swear I'll change my ways,
Hoping for brighter days,
just wanna find our way back home.
to the love we knew.
No more alone. Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. I sleep overturned to stone, a fragile heart was torn. In one small act of trust, a life was forever changed. Vulnerability shadow, influence turned to chains.
A young girl's dream shattered, lost in a world of pain.
But deep inside her soul, a flicker still remains.
A hope that whispers softly through the endless rain.
Ripple of a moment echoes through the years, a whisper of innocence lost in tears. Hold on to hope, break free from the night. There's a dawn beyond the darkness,
Only on the darkness,
shining bright.
paths paved in shadows, choices made in fear. A mother's love distant, yet forever near.
Fighting to find her way back, through the rain and the fire. A heart still beating, longing to inspire. Every scar a story, every fall a lesson learned. In the ashes of despair, hope's flame still burns. Ripple of a moment echoes through the years, a whisper of innocence lost in tears. Hold on to hope, break free from the night. There's a dawn beyond the darkness.
Shining bright,
So many lives are tangled in the web of pain, but love can be the healer through the storm and rain. Every child deserves a chance to rise. broken heart can find a brand new day. Ripple of a moment echoes through the years, a whisper of innocence lost in tears. Hold on to hope, break free from the night. There's a dawn beyond the darkness,
shining bright.
Remember her story, let it echo in your heart. Protect the vulnerable, be a healing part. A ripple's just a beginning, a chance to heal and grow. Love's the seed of change, let it blossom and show.
I draw my hands and my beg, them a lighting bar. I draw my lump from my tongue, so my brightest card. There are the one that I want, never want to be. I gotta lose in the mind that you know what I mean.
Lost in tears.
Hold on to hope, break free from the night. There's a dawn beyond the darkness,
Shining bright, shining bright. Hey! A sleepover turned to storm, a fragile heart was torn. In one small act of trust, a life was forever changed.
vulnerability shattered, influence turned to change. A young girl's dream shattered, lost in a world of pain.
But deep inside her soul, a flicker still remains. fear. A mother's love distant, yet forever near.
Fighting to find her way back through the rain and the fire. A heart still beating, longing to inspire.
Every scar a story, every fall a lesson learned. In the ashes of despair, hope's flame still burn. A ripple of a moment echoes through the years. A whisper of innocence lost in tears. Hold on to hope, break free from the night. There's a dawn beyond the darkness, shining bright, shining bright. So many lives are tangled in the web of pain, but love can be the healer through the storm and rain.
Every child deserves a chance to rise anew, to find the strength inside, to see it through.
From the depths of sorrow, new dreams can emerge. A future waits beyond the scars, a brighter horizon surge. Though the past may haunt and shadows still remain, there's power in forgiveness, in healing through the pain.
Hold the light a little longer, let compassion lead the way. Every broken heart can find a brand new day.
Ripple of a moment echoes through the years. A whisper of innocence lost in tears. Hold on to hope, break free from the night. There's a dawn beyond the darkness, shining bright, shining bright. Remember a story, let it echo in your heart. Protect the vulnerable, be a healing part.
A ripple's just a beginning, a chance to heal and grow. Love's the seed of change, let it blossom and show.
Du dich nicht verbannen. Jag bryr och nicht förlåter. Lass mich med boven. Was das ist verrückt als du bin. Was ich da was sie begaben. Was ich nie da jo, wär nichts mehr da.
Maria, Buono Maria, Buono Maria. You got me like low, I wanna see